Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. I have pulled out my 02, my old Mary's Diamond kit that I have had hanging on the door forever. That's what I'm going to be working on. So let me zoom in to where I'm going to be working and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm going to start at the edge here and then I'm going to work my way that way because I can't fit the whole section in the camera. And I'm trying to hurry and get this done because there's a bunch of weather headed our direction, and I'm afraid the power is going to go out before I can get everything done. So let me work on that. All right, let me start my timer here, and then I will jump into my life update. Not that there's a ton of things going on in my regular life, but that's where I start, so let's jump in. So first, let me explain a little bit. We've had some pretty wild weather both this last week and probably supposed to have some more this coming week. And we are supposed to be getting some pretty bad storms. And so we went out and ran a bunch of errands to get everything done before the storms hit. And now I'm trying to get everything done and filmed before the storms hit so that I have a chance to get this edited and uploaded before possibly our power goes out. And hubby's made sure that he charged up we have an actual gas generator so that if it does go out for an extended period, last time we had the power go out for an extended period, we went and bought a generator just so we could run the refrigerator. It's not enough to run our air conditioning or anything, but these drills, you guys, this is why I haven't worked on this kit for a while, because the drills make me crazy. Anyway, so bad weather, trying to get things done so that I can get stuff finished. He's like, well, I've charged up the little jackery type thing so that we can have some sort of power. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, that would let me record. That doesn't let me, and I could edit on my laptop, but that doesn't let me upload. Like if our internet isn't working, I suppose I could try and do it through my phone, but that takes forever doing it that way. So yeah, I'm trying to get this done. Just in case the weather gets kind of crazy, you never know. It's not supposed to start raining here or doing anything for another couple of hours, so I should be fine. That should give me enough time to record and then edit and upload and all of that good stuff. But yeah, living here can be kind of fun. My hubby has been keeping an eye on the weather. He is very much he'd love to be a storm chaser. He's not used to tornadoes and all this kind of weather because where he's from in Canada, they just didn't have this kind of weather. These drills are already making me crazy. Now I remember why this one's been hanging on my door forever. This is an old Mary's Diamonds back before Bella Art bought them. And that's part of the reason I quit doing it, was because the drills were just driving me crazy. There's so many of them that are not flat or they're concave on the back. Either concave or convex, one of the two. There's not a flat back, so the drill doesn't want to stick completely to the canvas when you place it. I've pulled a bunch of my spares to try and do it that way, but then I got distracted by other projects because I started this one last year. I've placed drills on it, so I figured I wouldn't be able to just like give it away to someone because I've placed drills on it. Although someone in a comment the other day said they'd be happy to get a kit like that. So now I'm curious, would you take a kit that somebody had partially worked? I mean, does it matter what the kit is? Like I could see if it was a unicorn kit or something, but also how do you do that? Because like for me, if I'm working on it, I have all the drills kitted up. I'm not going to mail somebody the drills all kitted up with my container and all of that. And I don't keep like the baggies or whatever. So I guess it just never occurred to me that maybe somebody would want one that had been partially worked. Have you ever done a kit like that? I never have, but I don't really know anybody around my area that diamond paints. So maybe I'll look into that when we get into Canada. Surely there's a crafting group or something I mean, I'll still have you guys to diamond paint with, but if I have people local, like I really would love to go to a crafting retreat, or I've even seen people this week posting about a planning retreat. I like my planners. I was just working on all of my planners the other day, getting them set up for next month because we're getting close to the end of the month here for April, and getting everything set up for May, all my budget stuff and all that kind of stuff, getting it all set up. Trying to keep track of what everything's going on because May's going to be pretty busy. My oldest has a birthday. My nephew, I just got his high school graduation announcement, so he's going to be graduating. My youngest should be graduating, although he's been running around this week like the proverbial chicken because he's trying to get all these assignments finished and completed. So hopefully everything's going okay that way, because I think he only has maybe 2 more weeks of school and then he should be done as well. He's not planning on doing the whole graduation ceremony and walking on all of that, so we're not going to be doing any of that, but just to know he graduated and he's going to be getting his diploma would be huge. So yeah, lots of stuff going on in May. Oh, and one of my siblings has a birthday this coming month. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. I did finally call and reschedule my youngest and I for our dental cleanings. We were supposed to go back in January and I just kept putting off rescheduling. So I called and got that scheduled. So we're supposed to do that next month as well. And I called and found a new family doctor for myself. Just kind of want to go and get everything checked out before we head for Canada. I feel like that's kind of dumb to just get started and then we're going to leave, but there's also part of me that's like, well, I'm not sure how things are going to go. I mean, we can't leave until our house sells, and we don't even have it on the market yet. I mean, I think it'll go pretty quickly, but you never know. And we're still in the process of cleaning stuff out anyway. Did some more of that. We had, because of the crazy storms, hubby was out earlier today picking up branches, and we had a pretty big branch come down off of one of our trees in the front yard. It was a dead branch, so no surprise that it fell down, but just bigger than we were expecting. Thank goodness no cars were parked out that way. We have a secondary driveway, and landed parallel to the driveway, so even if someone had been parked, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal, but just good to know that it didn't hit anything important. So he was out doing that. And then because it's going to rain later and we have another bumper crop of dandelions this year, he was out putting down weed and feed on the lawn to try and cut down on it. Our neighbors to the south never really cared about their yard, so it was really hard to keep ours dandelion free because most of the wind would come from the south in the summer, and of course it would just blow all their dandelion seeds right into our yard. So, but we have new neighbors that direction, and they actually planted a new lawn, so fingers crossed maybe ours will look a little bit better finally. So hubby was out picking up branches and doing all that kind of stuff, and yeah, sorry, this is going to be a ramble today. My brain is all over the place because I'm trying to get done. It's already thundering outside. I don't think you guys can hear it, but I can. So I'm like, I mean, I think it's just supposed to rain where we are. We're not really supposed to get, we might get some hail, but we're not supposed to get tornadoes or anything where we are. But that doesn't mean anything. The weather can change on a dime. So called and rescheduled stuff, got all that stuff done. I'm still packing and sorting. You guys, so I was packing and sorting, have been, and I was working on one of the bookcases upstairs, and I was actually getting ready to film earlier this week. So I was in my office getting stuff set up, and all of a sudden there was this huge racket from the living room, and I was like, what is going on? Know if my son had fallen down the stairs coming up, or if he dropped something. So I go out to the living room, and I look, and on the top shelf of this bookcase, one of the books, they were all standing upright, and one of them, well, several of them had fallen over, and right next to them were some like little tchotchke things. It was some candle holders that belonged to my mom that I had kept. And there was a German beer stein, like ceramic beer stein that my dad had brought back from Germany from when he was in the army and he was stationed overseas. And I look, they're not on the shelf anymore. We had my little space heater was sitting next to it. So on top of the space heater, it was not on or anything. I had some papers stacked and a pen that I had been doing something with while I was cleaning, just got sidetracked and they were still laying there. So laying on top of the space heater is the stein with the handle now cracked off. And it landed on top of the pen and paper. So the paper's in the floor and the pen is busted into like 4 pieces from the stein falling on it. And then I realized there's glass everywhere because the candle holders also fell. I think the stein knocked them off as well, and one of them hit just right and shattered into a million pieces. So there's glass all over my carpet, and it's right where I do my diamond painting. So it's like under my chair, on top of my chair. Nothing on the table where I do the diamond painting. That was high enough. It didn't get hit with anything. But pieces of glass under the chair, under the table, under the bookcase, just kind of everywhere. And I was like, okay, well, let me clean all of this up. I guess I'm gonna put off filming for a little bit while I clean everything. So I'm down on my hands and knees going through the floor with gloves on, trying to pick up the big pieces of glass. Had to throw the stein away because there was just too many pieces. No saving it. No saving the candle holder. It was in about 30 pieces. So picked up all the big pieces that I could see, looking with my flashlight, trying to see if there's anything I missed. And then I vacuumed over it 2 or 3 times because my husband and my son like to walk around the house with no shoes on. And I didn't want anybody to accidentally step on a piece of glass. And then I had to vacuum my chair where I diamond paint because it's got like a mesh covering over it. And if any of the slivers fell through the mesh, then they could poke me when I sat down. So right now I have a towel over it. We're going to be getting rid of that chair anyway. It's not making the trip to Canada with us, so it's fine. But I was just like, wow, all that stuff has been sitting on that shelf forever. My husband comes home after I'm telling him about it, and he's like, did we have an earthquake? And I'm like, I don't think so. Nothing else fell, just that. So yeah, that was a fun time. But I'm still going through everything, like I said, deciding what stays and what goes. The more I pack, the more I go through, the more that's going is the pile that stuff goes into. I was talking to my son and said, he was asking me about kitchen things. What am I taking? What am I leaving? And I said, honestly, we're not taking a whole lot. I'm not taking dishes. My husband wants to take a set of silverware that belonged to my mom. And we've got a few small appliances. Like I have a KitchenAid stand mixer. That's going with us because it was expensive and I love it. And maybe our ice maker. We both love it, but we could buy another one. So I don't know if it's worth hauling it. But I mean, pretty much nothing else. We've been, like I said, selling other things and putting stuff up on Facebook Marketplace. And we've been getting rid of things. I mean, it's going a little slower than doing it some other way, but that's okay. Hubby sold our elliptical, so that's gone. We sold all of my miniature paints, so those are gone. And they went to some guy that's getting back into mini painting, so I was very happy. They're going to somebody who will absolutely use them and enjoy them, so that made me feel good. And we have somebody who's interested in our couch and love seat from the basement, so hopefully they will come and get those. Like I said, it's kind of slow going, but that's okay. Every little bit helps. This week, well, we'll see if we manage it. Before my husband goes back to work, I would like to go through our basement storage room because that's where I store a lot of like holiday decorations and some of that is going to my sister. So I wanted to gather all of that up so I could get that to her. And then some of it is just going to either go in a garage sale or get donated. I wanted to get through all of that. We have a little mini fridge downstairs. We keep drinks. My son keeps drinks down there so he doesn't have to come all the way upstairs if he just wants something cold. And we keep like extra creamer and stuff that doesn't fit in our fridge upstairs down there as well. Gonna leave that behind. We have like a standing chest freezer downstairs that we're gonna leave as well. Things that we'll need to replace once we get to Canada, but it's just not worth hauling them that long of a distance, paying for all the gas, and plus we're not really sure how much my husband's car is going to tow. So if that's how we decide to do it, we still haven't made that decision yet either. But yeah, just lots of stuff to do and lots of things coming up this month. So I am feeling like doing more now that the weather is getting to be nicer though. So that's always helpful. Plus, like I said, only a couple more weeks and my son will be done with school, hopefully. And then he can start helping me sort out things in the basement and moving things so I don't have to wait for my husband to be home to move stuff and all of that. All right, I think that's everything that I needed / wanted to share about my life update. Like I said, for the next several months, it's probably just going to be a lot of same old, me packing and sorting and doing all that kind of stuff because that's just how it's going to go. My husband is supposed to meet with the financial advisors later this week, so hopefully we'll get some information about his retirement and what our options are, and crossing my fingers that maybe we'll have some good news about some options to make things a little easier for us as we take off on this new adventure. I'm trying to look at it that way, that this is going to be a new adventure. My sister and I talked about it one time. My mom always had plans to move away as well. They were going to move, I don't know if they were going to move to another country, but they planned to move to another state. And then just various circumstances, life happens. Her dad got sick. She ended up pregnant with my sister. And just through a variety of circumstances, she and my dad just ended up staying and never moving away. And I think once they were kind of in a position to move away, they'd been here long enough and were settled, and all the kids were here and grandkids were here, and they traveled. So they got to do some of that, but they never moved away like my mom had intended. Hubby and I have been talking about that too. Like once we live closer to the East Coast, if it would be less expensive to fly and see some of the places we've always wanted to visit. We've both always wanted to go visit Ireland and Scotland and England, but from here, because we live basically in the middle of the country, we have to pay a bunch of money just to get to the coast. And then you add on the flight from the coast to wherever we're going, plus hotels and everything like that. It just wasn't feasible. So maybe once we get up there and we're closer to some major airports and things, maybe that will be a little bit less expensive. Or maybe we'll just buy a little travel trailer and we'll drive around Canada seeing stuff. Who knows? That was one of the reasons behind starting the YouTube channel in the first place, was to make it so that we could have a source of income that was location independent, so that if we wanted to get that travel trailer and drive around and do whatever, we could still have some income while traveling and not have to be tied down to kind of a 9-to-5 job. Not sure how feasible that's going to be. Like I said, a lot of that is going to depend on what we find out after his meeting with his financial advisors, but I can hope, right? I keep thinking to myself that he's ready to retire. I don't know if it's so much that he's ready to retire necessarily, but I do think him traveling every week and the whole living out of the suitcase and all of that is just kind of getting old. We're getting into a routine with it, so it's not as bad as it was when he first started, but it would still be nice to have a regular job where he kind of had set hours. I mean, in all the time that we've been married, he's rarely had jobs that kept him pretty close to home. There have been a couple of years where he only had a 20-minute commute, but more often than not, it's more than that. And there have been times where he was in other states, and there have been times where it was a couple hours, and he would still drive it rather than not be home every night, but not what we want at this stage in our lives. We'd rather be spending our time together. I mean, we're still going to have to work and have some sort of income, but I think he and I are both to the point where we'd rather make do with a little bit less so that we're not spending all of this time and effort for a house that he's rarely in. We've been looking at houses where we're going to be, and it's crazy. Some seem to go super fast. Other ones seem to last for quite a while. And, you know, that makes me think, well, that one hasn't sold quickly. There must be something wrong with it, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know if it's location. I don't know enough about where we're going to know if that has something to do with it or not. I was looking at a listing the other day, and it was a house that had been on the market for a while, and I'm looking at it. It's right off some water. You have water access, so if you like to canoe or fish or whatever, you'd have your own water access. And it was a nice house, and I'm looking at it going, why hasn't this house been purchased yet? And then in the notes it says, oh, there's a radon pump in the basement. And I said to my husband, what's a radon pump? And I said, I thought radon was like a radioactive gas. And he said, well, it is. And I said, well, what does that mean that you have a radon pump in the basement? I guess it's some sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a leftover material, a residual material. When other naturally occurring radioactive materials decay, radon is a byproduct. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. And so I guess up in that area, that's not an unusual thing. He did say he's never seen anybody that had a radon pump before, but I guess it's not unusual. And I thought, I wonder if that's what scared people away, because it's not something that you normally see. I mean, we're already being picky. I want at least 2 bathrooms. I would love to have an attached garage, which is not a usual thing. Ooh, did you guys hear that crack of thunder? I would love an ensuite, which is not a usual thing up there either. And I want a wood stove. And I do not want a house that still has a big oil heater thing in the basement, because you have to get them taken out and they're a pain. Wow, that was some really long thunder. Hopefully you guys can't hear the dog barking in the backyard. You shouldn't be able to hear the thunder, but I better get a move on. It's starting to thunder here already. All right, so anyway, yeah, lots of stuff going on, but a lot of same old stuff. Okay, so diamond painting update. What's going on in my diamond painting life? A lot of also same old. I am just working my way through kits, working my way through goals, trying to finish the stuff that I set out as goals for myself. I finished my Foxy Love canvas, which was my Pam diamond painting. I actually really like how that canvas turned out, surprisingly. It had so many ABs that I thought I wouldn't like it when I got finished, because it does make it look different from the original image, which I really liked, but it turned out super well and I was really happy with that one. So finished that one, so that's another one that I can mark off my list. And then I moved right on from that to, I wanted to do one of my Wish Series canvas because I skipped March, so I wanted to do one for April. And I picked I think is the smallest one off the list, and that was my Lady Luck from Dreamer Designs. That one was just an absolute dream to do. The finish of that, I think, was yesterday's video, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It was a round and not a square, but the drills were super nice, It had a nice mix of confetti and multi-placing. It was a small size. It was only 40 by 50, and it felt like I just flew through it. I mean, I think I finished it in 3 days maybe, and probably could have finished it sooner if I just had time to work on it and not had to do other things. But yeah, finished that one, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So excited. So now I've got my want series for April done. So I'm still one behind, but that's okay. And then I decided after I finished that one that I was going to concentrate on my Josephine wall. I moved it off of the dining room table because it was getting to be annoying not being able to use the table. And my thought had been, well, I'll have it on the table so that way I can have everything spread out and then I'll work on it during the week. Except even with hubby gone, that wasn't happening. I was still ending up concentrating on whatever was on my actual diamond painting table. So what I decided was, once I finished with the Pam diamond painting and the Lady Luck, I thought, you know what? I am going to just move this to my diamond painting table. Now, I thought at first that it wouldn't be big enough. My diamond painting table, the top of it is, I think, 60 by 30 inches. And I thought maybe it wouldn't be big enough. And it does hang over a little bit. It's more than long enough, the table is, to hold the J wall, but it's just a little bit too wide. Now, once I cut off the extra on the edges of the canvas, it would fit fine, but I haven't done that yet while I'm still working on it. So, but it does fit well enough that I could move it to that table. And I've actually been working on it a lot more and a lot more consistently now that I've moved it to that table. So my original plan was to be done with that one by the end of May, or by the end of April, I mean, and that's absolutely not going to happen. I'm not even halfway finished, and I've only got, what, 4 or 5 days left in April, so probably less than that. So I'm shooting for the end of May now. I just want it to be done before we start DP for pets, and that starts in June. So it's okay that I've not finished it at the end of April, but I definitely want to finish it before the end of, did I say that right? Sorry guys, my brain. I'm not going to be able to finish it before the end of April. I'll definitely want to finish it before the end of May. And I told my husband, it's kind of crazy just kind of trying to keep track of how much time I'm spending on it. One really confetti heavy section the other day took me almost 4 hours. It just, I mean, it was nothing but confetti. And it seemed like every single color in it was different. And then yesterday I hit a couple of sections where I finished 2 sections in the same amount of time. And that's because even though there was still some confetti, there was also some nice multi-placing. And by multi-placing with a J-wall, that means, I don't know, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 drills in a row that were the same color. Never any more than that, but they did, those sections did at least have some multi-placing, so it went a little bit faster, which anything that helps me go faster is helpful. So I've been working on the J-wall, and I'm going to be concentrating on that for May. So we'll see what content looks like, because I don't want to just do a month of J-wall whip and chats while I'm working on it. But that's pretty much all I'm going to be working on for the month of May, because I really, really want to get that one finished before DP for Pets starts and before we get any closer to the move, because June is going to be busy with not only DP for Pets and diamond painting stuff, but June is also going to be busy. That's if we decide to have a garage sale, that's when we'll do it. Hopefully by then we'll have the house on the market, so I'm going to have to be working around house showings and that kind of thing, and so it may just get a little bit tricky. But that's okay, right? Sometimes I think it's easier for me to be busy than not. Like when I'm busy, I feel like I get more stuff done because I know, okay, I got to get this done because I only have this much time, whereas when I'm not busy, I feel like I can just continually procrastinate because I don't have anything else occupying my time, so it's fine if I wait and do it later. not only do I want to finish my J wall as one of my goals is to finish my 5 oldest paintings, of which the J wall is one, but I finished 2 already, the 2 Spanglers, Bubble Fairies, and Universe in a Jar. And I opened my Jasper Sea kit. I did go through and pick out some additional ABs to add into it. I think it's going to be really pretty when it's finished. So I'll probably be trying to find some time to sneak in during this coming month in May and work on it as well, so I can get that finished. If I could get that and the J wall finished in May, oh, that would be amazing. Don't know if that's going to happen, but it would be amazing. So yeah, working on all of that. I've been getting some feedback about my last Stay or Go video. So if you haven't seen it, I'll stick a link, go check it out. My last Stay or Go video was a Dreamer Designs, and it's an older kit. I bought it back in 2021, I think. And it's big. It's 80 by 60. And it's just one of those kits that, one, I really liked it when I bought it. I like the image. I like Dominic Davison's art. I think he's a great artist. But it's just super big, and it's been sitting in my stash for 3 years now. So I think it's one of those things where I bought it during my FOMO phase, and it's just not an image that I'm completely in love with anymore. And because it's so large and because it's square, I just don't see myself getting to it anytime soon. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from people who, because I mentioned that because it's square, I'm afraid that because it's an older kit, it will have bad drills. And I've had lots of people who said that's the experience they've had, that the drills are gappy and kind of frustrating to work with. But then I've had an equal probably number of people say that they've done mini squares from from Dreamer Designs and never had an issue. So I don't know if I just got unlucky with the kit that I did. I don't know if their drills are just kind of hit or miss. I don't know. But it just isn't an image, like I said, that I'm absolutely in love with. And because it's so large and because it's been in my stash for so long, it's like, am I really ever going to get to this? I think, especially after doing Lady Luck, just how much I enjoyed that process, because I love the painting, I love the drills. It was such a good experience. And coming off the heels of some of my older kits where I still enjoyed the experience. I don't want to say I didn't enjoy the experience, but it was less enjoyable due to things like gappy drills, trashy drills, drills with tabs, drills that don't sit right on the canvas, just those sort of things that make it not as enjoyable as it could be. And if I'm going to diamond paint, I want to make the experience as enjoyable as it could be, right? So I'm okay if I need to let a few things go, right? It's all good. I'm actually letting more than a few things go, not just diamond painting, but otherwise because of the move. Yeah, it's all good. As long as I'm happy with my experience, that's what counts. I have mentioned before on the channel that, well, I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, I finally hit 8,000 subs, you guys. So huge thank you to all of you who have been supporting me from the get-go. Those of you who've come along and joined me on this journey, it's been amazing. Like I said, I never would have imagined in my wildest dreams that I would be sitting where I am right now with 8,000 subscribers. So huge thank you to all of you. To everybody who watches, likes, comments, shares, subscribes, all the good stuff. So because I've hit 8,000 subs, I've decided I'm going to do a giveaway. And because DP for Pets 2024 is just around the corner, I've decided I'm going to kind of work that all in together. So the official rules will be in the description box below, so make sure you check those out. But I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a licensed diamond painting kit. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is. It's a giveaway. It's a freebie. If you don't like it, you can gift it on to someone else. Sorry if you can hear the thunder. If you do like it, then you can do it. Once it's out of my hands, it belongs to you. You can do what you want. Okay, so giveaway. What do you need to do? You need to leave a comment below. And because next month, well, not next month, because June is DP for pets, I want you to leave me a comment with your favorite animal emoji and your country of residence. Now, make sure you leave both of those things, because if you don't have both of those things in your comment, you will not be eligible to enter the drawing. So the drawing will start when this video posts, which will be 6 a.m. Central Daylight Time on Sunday, April 28th. So from 6 a.m. Central Daylight Time on Sunday until 6 a.m. Central Daylight Time on Monday, the 30th, you can leave a comment. If you leave a comment after that time, it is not eligible, so make sure you meet the deadline. And then, as I have usually done, I will put all of the people who are eligible for the drawing, have got their entries in the time frame, and have included all the things as requested, which is your favorite animal emoji and your country of residence. Then those will all be entered into my little wheel, and I will spin and announce on Tuesday's video who won. So don't forget to go and leave your comment down below with your favorite animal emoji and your country of residence so that I can enter you in the drawing. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss when I announce the winner next week. So good luck to everyone. Again, a huge thank you to all of you who have been here along the way on my YouTube journey. It can only get better, right? So I'm looking forward to some exciting things that I'm planning. Hopefully you will join me on those adventures as well. And yeah, just a huge thank you to everyone. Don't forget to check out the official rules in the description box down below. Okay, I think that's it for me today, guys. The thunder is starting to get kind of loud, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose power here soon, so I'm gonna leave it there. Leaving it at the end of the giveaway, that seems like a good place to stop. I can hear the rain starting already, so yeah, I probably need to get busy. So I didn't get a ton done, but I did make some good progress there, so I'm going to call that a win. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video, guys. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.